individualized ticket. They can't handle all that stuff. So I'm going to be outside instead.
So, ladies, you can hold it. Whatever. I'm gonna. The journalist. Who's the organizer? What's the name of the organizing group?
Society of Professional Journalists.
Awesome.
Society of Professional Journalists. We got people dancing here. Everyone, welcome. My name is Bill Marcus. I'm the board member from the Society of Professional Journalists at Adams Senate, another board member. We have people here from Emerson College, from Muck Rock, which has done tremendous work trying to push the Freedom of Information Act law in this state. They can tell us that an average request in Massachusetts today, under the present law, will take 81 days. Is that correct?
Sounds right.
And 74 days in the city of Boston.
Boo!
Thank you. We can't wait. We're looking for you to be proactive as a result of this and to speak to your state senator, not to tweet them, not to email them, but to actually pick up the phone and call them and ask them to make sure that this is a good bill that comes out of the state legislature. Right now it's sitting in the Ways and Means, I think. Ways and Means?
Third
It's sitting
reading?
in the Senate.
Could it be in third reading?
It's sitting in the Senate, and we're looking basically for four things. We're looking for a time certain to get records when we want them, 30 days. We're looking for attorney's fees when we win a suit. Very simple, right? 47 other states have this. I don't know why Massachusetts does not, but it does not. And the third thing of the four is we don't want a circuitous appeals process. As I just mentioned, the folks from Muck Rock have found out it takes 81 days under current law for an appeals process to be exhausted. If you appeal to get a record out of a state agency, 74 days in a Boston city agency. Finally, we don't want an information tax. There is no reason to charge me $700 just to find out how much it's going to cost me to get the records that I'm requesting that belong to me as a Massachusetts resident.
$700?
Yes, sir. It's a little bit more than that if you add in the spare change.
Whoa!
If you think that's bad and you're not a reporter, and you're an attorney, for example, researching whether or not breathalyzer tests are accurate or inaccurate, it may just cost you, the estimate was given to them, $2.7 million. Who in here has $2.7 million they'd like to spend on public records?
That's ridiculous.
Oh, thank you.
I've got to do that.
So those are our four things. When our president of the SPJNE shows up, she will have flyers for you. Until then, you can go to spjne.org, and at that site it will show you how to find your state senator. If you don't know already, we'll help you do that. And then when you get your state senator and find out who your state senator is, then those four things that I just discussed, 30 days, no circuitous appeals process, no information tax, and attorney's fees. Is that four? I hope that's four. Those are the things we'd like you to mention. That's what we want in the bill. Why are we doing this now in the bloody cold weather? Because as of February 4th, it will be too late. That is the date certain that the state Senate says that they are probably going to act on this bill. And then they go into negotiations with the House of Representatives, and then it's all over. Game over. Until then, we have a chance to influence the people who ostensibly represent us, the members of the state Senate. So, I want action to come out of this event. I want you to find out who your state senator is. I would like you to contact he or she or him or her. Him or her, right? Him or her, I was told.
Copy.
And say what you would like in the bill. It's not hard. You learn this in school, how to call your state senator. People don't usually do it. That's why we're asking you to do it. because it makes a big difference. Because if people don't usually do it and you do it, then they know, my constituent is asking me. Now, those of you who live in Boston, where there is a Senate race and there's no incumbent because the gentleman just stepped down, call the Senate President's office, Mr. Rosenberg, and tell him what it is you'd like to see in the bill. At this time, the people from Muckrock, I'll let them start off and tell your story, if you'd like.
Well, I want to wait for JPAD to get here to do that, but the only thing I want to say is that democracy, we need to hold our representatives accountable. The only way to do that is with information. If we can't get information, we can't hold people accountable. That's really it. And,
that's a good question.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Massachusetts has one of the weakest public records laws
Yes,
in the country. We can do better.
right.
That's why I'm here.
Okay.
What's your question?
I know that Mass Fiscal Alliance is pushing on bills about transparency. Are you working with them, or do you know them? Or are they pushing the same direction that you
For
are?
my editor.
What?
The question for my editor. He'll be here soon.
Okay.
Hold on, Mass Municipal Association? Is
What?
that? No,
No,
fiscal.
fiscal.
Oh,
We're not alone in this. We're part of a coalition of over 40 organizations, including Common Cause, ACLU of Massachusetts, MassPerg, Sierra Club. There's a whole list of them. You find them at the ACLU site. All of them are doing this. We're just trying to rally folks up and get them moving.
Are there any politicians on your side?
A lot. I met with my senator. She said, don't worry. Pat Jelen said, don't worry. The sponsor of the bill, Eldridge, says, we're with you.
Okay, good.
Does the bill contain what you want?
The bill right now that's come out of the House, I think the House is on this side or the House is on this side? I don't know how they do it in Massachusetts. Maybe they're in the back. But the bill that's come out of the House actually makes things worse. It actually makes, if it's possible, yes, it actually makes things worse because there are individuals who are lobbying on the other side of this issue, people that represent the municipal officials, that don't want to do their job.
Boo.
As a reporter, last year I went down to City Hall. They sent me down to City Hall for a rally. Send the Patriots off, right, to win the Super Bowl? People held up signs that said, do your job, do your job. We should have those signs for every municipality in the state. Those of you who are from websites or newspapers, from any of the 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts, go home. Do your job. Ask your city solicitor, ask your city clerk, ask your senator where they stand. Ask if this is something that you want, the House bill, which actually makes the process worse than it is right now. There was a committee, to be, convoluted about legislation, there was a committee bill that we testified for and we liked, and then of course, this is the way sausage is made, folks.
Okay.
You're part of the process. You're part of the process.
Do you want to mention the trial court?
The trial court? The failure to digitize
Well,
records?
the trial court
You
had a public hearing, and it's videotaped, and I uploaded it. So it's on the CPPR archive project to 2015.wordpress.com. So you can actually get the footage for that. And there is a comment time that's going to come up right now that you can still add your comments, and that would be getting court records. Having the newspapers get court records, and all the newspapers were there, lots of attorneys representing all the press, and I'm Confilm Registry News. I was the only one with a standing camera because I kept asking, can I tape for like 3 hours, and finally they said, yes, I can tape, and I was floored. So it's real. This is really serious, and he's right. We have to work together now. All press have to work together and fight for public record. Beacon Hill is not under public record law, and so they can, I've covered 500 public hearings, and they said I don't have standing because I didn't, so it's like public records need to be obtained for the people so they don't, they're letting all these 500 meetings go over their head. I mean, just boom, they don't, no record, no steno, nothing. Okay, you ask for the record, it doesn't exist. So they'll say, well, we have to go to the files and search and dig up all that stuff, but nobody has the record. So I'm just saying, whether it's what he's talking about or just the State House or the courts, we have to work together. This is an outrage.
Thank you. Introduce SPJNE President Danielle McLean.
How's it going?
Great.
Thanks so much for everyone for coming out. This is great. We'll hopefully get some more people, get some great energy and everything like that. Really try to get everybody, you know, kind of rallied on the same page with this fight. For too long, the state has just been operating in complete secrecy, and it's just gotten to the point now where they can just do whatever they want. Boston 2024 was a really great example of just, you know, how they're hiding and how they're able to possibly use taxpayer dollars to cover billions of dollar projects without anybody noticing. And you know, they lied to us. They lied during the Boston 2024 process to try and cover it up. It took a FOIA request and a lot of pressure from journalists to figure out that the taxpayers would have been on the hook for overruns. This is a huge problem here in Massachusetts. You know, when journalists are being denied, or just anyone in the general public are being denied police logs, some of the most basic public records you can possibly ask for, that's a problem, and it needs to change. And so what we want today is to get our message clear that what the House passed is a good start, but it is not nearly close enough, and we need better public records access laws. We need something more concrete. We can't be charged fees. When you're getting charged fees, you're getting taxed on information. That is unacceptable. When you charge fees for something that belongs to the public, public records belong to the public. They belong to every single taxpayer in the entire state. When you are being charged to get something that belongs to you, that is wrong. That is unacceptable, and that needs to change. When we are one of the only states in the entire country, one of 3 states in the entire country, where you can't be reimbursed attorney's fees if you win an appeal in court, that is wrong. That is unacceptable. Judges shouldn't have discretion, which is in the House bill, whether to give you back your attorney's fees. You deserve, and you have the right to those attorney's fees. When you have to wait over a month just to have a city government or municipality or state to respond to your public records request, that is wrong. That is a way for them to get out of it. That is a way for them to deny you of your public records and deny the story. We need sharper deadlines. We need attorney fees to be mandatory, and we should not be charged a tax on information. This is ridiculous. So thank you all so much for coming out here and supporting this, or covering this, or giving this issue light. Let's make some noise. Let's have some fun, and let's really get behind this cause. Woo! Bravo!
Great.
That's all.